better than ever in targeting an audience that listens to what you say. Learn more about this exciting radio broadcasting opportunity by calling WNZK Radio at 248-557-3500. This is WNZK, Dearborn Heights, Detroit. Your ethnic superstation at 690 days, 680 nights.
Welcome to the bright side of aging. My name is Ike Engelbaum. I'm a pharmacist and the publisher of AmericanSeniorGazette.org. It has been wisely said, you cannot help getting older, but you can help getting old. It has also been said that age is a matter of the mind. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. My purpose in doing the show is so that seniors and caregivers can share their ideas and questions on how we can age gracefully and in a vertical position for as long as our good genes will allow. And if we've inherited bad genes, how to outwit them. Our topics include senior housing, financial, legal, safety, travel, health issues, interesting senior events in the community, and most of all, tips on how to put old on hold.
If your question is, who am I going to call to bring the kind of services into my home that I need because I can't get out? House Calls on Wheels provides both medical and non-medical services in your home. They can bring in doctors, dentists, nurses, therapists, and more. And those medical services are covered by Medicare and most private insurance plans. And they have all sorts of non-medical services, whatever you need. Now, if you use 4 hours or more of non-medical services per month, you're going to get a free personal emergency button telephone that you can use for both emergencies or daily use. Call House Calls on Wheels toll-free for further information. 1-888-489-8980. That's 1-888-489-8980.
Hi, Ike Engelbaum. One of my sponsors is Cofix Nasal Spray. You can spray the inside of your nose and almost have the same benefits as a mask. In fact, it's been so well proven that it's now on the market in drugstores. Cofix RX. Spray it in the nose. 45 seconds later, you have up to 8 hours like a shield inside your nose. It's been scientifically proven. I'm really excited about it. I use it anytime I go out in a huge crowd. If you need any more information, call 888-489-8980. 888-489-8980. And welcome. And I hope that if you enjoy what I do on radio, that you solicit our sponsors. I don't know, solicit sounds so negative. Just visit them. And if you buy something, it's not going to hurt my feelings. And if you like the show, by all means, shop there. And hopefully you may want to come on the air sometime and express your thoughts, because I'm always looking for interesting people to get on the air. 11 a.m. to 11:30, as you know, we do Bright Side of Aging and talk about interesting people. I had the joy and privilege of meeting a really interesting, talented, actually health provider by the name of Charles Jackson Jr., and he is part of the Michigan State University Extension courses. He's an instructor in community nutrition. And guess what? He's been doing this since 2012. So he's experienced, and he's just an all-around interesting, knowledgeable guy about nutrition and food. And he and I have been together at some of the health fairs that we've been doing at different churches, And hopefully now that things are calming down, we'll be able to get back into what the purpose of Unified Detroit is all about. There's about 20 black churches that are decided that they want to reach out to their respective areas in alerting us about the importance of knowing our vital signs. And he teaches also students from preschool all the way to age 90. And he also is involved with how you eat smart and live strong. And he not only is busy with that type of stuff, but he's involved with community garden and urban agriculture and Friends of Royal Oak Township. And he will teach nutrition from the earth to the plate. Wow. Would you have time to sleep, Mr. Charles Jackson?
Ike, you are too kind. So glad to hear from you again, my brother. I'm so glad to get your call because after COVID, you never know who's going to pop up again. But I was glad that you are still here with us, brother.
Well, good. Well, I'll tell you, if ever we needed the revitalization for our body and mind, this is really the most appropriate time to do that. My guest for the next segment, Darron Powers, who is involved with entrepreneurship, is actually involved in trying to sort of regroup and recoup. And the truth of it is that despite all of the benefits that you can get from medications and all, the key to really having a healthy life is the food that you consume. And
that is correct, Ike.
Right. Now, tell me, Charles, give me a little bit of your background as to what prompted you to get involved with the Michigan State University Extensions program.
Well, a little bit of my background is people on my age, when we were young, we spent our summers traveling to the South, where our relatives lived. And when you got down there were no markets. In the 60s, we didn't have drive-thrus and fast food. So everybody farmed. And that is where my interest in healthy eating and growing our own food began, at the knee of my grandparents, aunts, and uncles who were growing their own food on their own land. And we ate fresh every day, learned not to name the chickens because they would be on the plate at dinner time. So my interest was piqued by actually becoming a farmer at a young age. Then when we moved to the north, I started off at Michigan State as a 4-H volunteer. For those of you who don't know, 4-H is a program for young people that teaches animal husbandry, farming, among other things, dealing with nature. So I went from 4-H volunteer into the extension, where I became a community nutrition instructor. And I spend all day, every day, traveling the Tri-County area, preaching the gospel of healthy eating. And we call our program Eat Smart, Live Strong.
Let me write that, I'm sorry, let me write that down. Go ahead. Repeat, please.
Eat Smart, Live Strong. That's our class for seniors.
Tell me about the program and as to if someone is interested, what can they expect? What
you can expect is a 6-week class. It's an hour per week, and we cover a wide range of topics from how can you consume a healthy amount of fruits and vegetables, what each fruit and vegetable helps your body do. We also teach you how to get the salt and sugar and preservatives out of your life. We have a whole program on label reading, which really is the most important component of our program, because label reading will set you free. If you know what's in your food, you are educated as to the health benefits or also the dangers of some of the additives in the food. We also feature a healthy dose of physical activity as a component of Eat Smart, Live Strong. We have chair yoga, exercise bands, and we also like to incorporate dance. So it is a fun class, and it will help you live strong into your later years. We want you to be able to dance all night.
Can you teach me how to dance too, or that I have to do on my own? I have to do that on my own.
If you take Eat Smart, Live Strong, you'll catch on.
I'll catch on. So, do you have the program going on somewhere? If people want to find out what goes on as we speak, is there a current program in the area?
We are programming constantly, year-round. Mm-hmm. If you would like to take a program, you can email me at JACK1193 at MSU.edu. Once again, that is JACK1193 at MSU.edu, or you can reach me by phone.
Hey, that's my favorite.
Okay.
Go ahead.
At 313-494-4963. That is 313-494-4963. And my name, once again, is Charles Jackson, Michigan State University Extension.
Yeah, well, if you can't remember a name like Jackson, I think you should go back to school and get a remedial class. So, as we speak, what's your ideal audience? I mean, where can you set this up if someone says, "Hey, this sounds good"? Can I do it at the community center, or where's your venue, for lack of a better word?
As Johnny Cash puts it, I go everywhere, man. Uh-huh. Churches, schools, community centers, senior centers. We currently have a class going, and we'll be starting a new class in a couple of weeks at St. Patrick Senior Center in Detroit, and that's at 58 Parsons. Mm-hmm. We're forming a class now at that site, but if you call me and you have 8 or more people in your group, I will come to you and we will do a 6-week Eat Smart, Live Strong class.
Now, what charges are there, if any?
The cost of Eat Smart, Live Strong is free to you.
It's free?
There is no cost
to
community organizations.
Wow. So is it strictly in the Detroit area, or do you go to the suburban areas as well?
Wayne, Oakland, and Macomb County is my territory.
Wow, that's a pretty big territory.
And it's not just me. If I am not available, I have colleagues in all 3 counties who are quite capable of teaching the class as well.
Wow. And I'll tell you something. working with quite a few different senior centers, and if any senior center is interested, by all means, I'd like to give out my toll-free number so that I know that there are human beings listening. My toll-free number is 888-489-8980. I try to repeat that throughout the program, so if you didn't write it down now, get a pencil and paper. If you call 888-489-8980, I'd love to implement that because I'm quite active over at the Caustic Center since I live in the Oakland County, West Bloomfield area, and also any of the senior centers that are looking for interesting type programs that not only are fun but also be educational. I can't think of a more important thing than to alert people as to how they can eat properly. You know, we always joke about what you eat is what you get, or something to that effect. And the point is that the food is a drug.
Exactly. And your first line of defense.
Absolutely. And, we just went through that whole unfortunate situation of the lockdown, and some people just were overwhelmed, and unfortunately many people died. And I don't know their individual situations, but the ones that just had minor type of side effects of all of the getting the virus are the ones that their immune system was more beneficial and also capable of warding off really severe cases. And
that is so true.
As you may know, I'm a pharmacist, so I've been really trained in the magic, if there is such a word that you can tie in with drugs. But prescription drugs are definitely a necessity, if properly used and also appropriately used. But you need less drugs if you ate right.
There you go.
I mean, and we're talking, really simple type strategies, and we only have a few more minutes, but I wondered, can you share some of the really important things that people should know about their eating habits?
Number one, eat the plants. Your body is geared and built for eating plants. The plants are where the vitamins are. And when we say eat the plants, we're talking about fruits, vegetables, and grains. Mm-hmm. And not only do we want you to eat the plants, we want you to eat a wide variety of colors of the plants, because each color in a fruit or a vegetable, there's a different vitamin or nutrient that is compatible with a different part of your body that can increase your immune system, it can increase your vision, can regulate your blood pressure. So not only do we want you to eat the plants, we want you to do what we say, eat the rainbow. Mm. Every color contains a different nutrient. The plants are different colors, not to make them pretty. Mm. But each color is a signal for a different nutrient that your body needs.
Right. Well, I have a small mind, so bear with me for a minute, but I can't help but be reminded of the classic saying. In fact, supposedly Dolly Parton said it, that if you want to see a rainbow, you have to deal with the rain. And the truth of it is, in life, if your body is not really responding and acting in your benefit when you get sick, some people, a minor cold becomes a whole ordeal, and others maybe have a few uncomfortable days, and that's true because they've taken care of themselves. And
exactly.
The other message I think that we should remind people is the magic phrase of portion size and exercise. Is that right?
Portion size and exercise.
Right.
That's a great phrase, Ike.
Right. Well,
Because
you brought up...
we have huge portions now. And in the past, we did not eat as much as on our plate as we do now. And once you eat it, you got to burn it off. It's like a fine automobile.
Right.
And let the fuel just sit there, or it'll turn to jelly.
Right. And the truth of it is that just good common sense and knowing what to do and following it as closely as is possible. And I don't want to take us off track, but a lot of people assume that, oh my God, I'm going to have to stop eating all my favorite stuff, and if I want to stay healthy, I got to eat plant food only. Here's my tip, and this is my own tip. It's not been scientifically tested, but it's working for me, and I'm 84 years old, and I regard myself in pretty decent shape. The truth is that if you are eating food that is not exactly like a rainbow and all, as long as it's a small portion, don't abandon everything you like in food, because let's face it, food is not only good for nutrition, but it also makes you feel better. That's why a lot of people end up being obese, as unfortunately they're eating too much of what they like to eat. But exactly. That doesn't, so just in the portion size. And Charles Jackson, if anyone is interested in setting up something, they certainly can call you, and you want to give your phone number out again. In fact, why don't you repeat it? Go ahead. Number
out again. And Ike, one more thing.
Yes.
Eat the rainbow, but treat yourself sometimes. You got to treat yourself.
Yes, right.
So, if you want to eat smart, live strong, call me, Charles Jackson, at 313-494-4963.
Very good. 313-494-4963, or call my toll-free number, and I can arrange it so that we can work out no matter where you are. Wayne, Oakland. And did you say Macomb too, or was it?
And Macomb.
And Macomb. All right. So we got all of them covered. Hallelujah.
Yes, we do.
God bless Charles Jackson. I got to take a break, and we'll be right back. And I hope to see you soon with plants, fruits, and the rainbow.
Bye, everyone.
For over 30 years, Cruz Hearing and Service has helped thousands of people improve their hearing and enjoy the sounds of their life again. If you don't hear as well as you like, Cruz Hearing can help you. They have actually hearing aids that the batteries do not need to be recharged. And they also have a caption phone that you can view for free. And also the phone, if you are over 65, is available to you free. So any phone calls you get, you can see captioned if you don't hear that well. Hey, they've got other stuff. If you'd like the free cookbook, call 1-888-489-8980. That's available. You can call Cruz Hearing Direct at 877-456-2789. The number direct is 877-456-2789. Hi, Ike Engelbaum. I am really excited about a new sponsor, and that is Memory Health. These are vitamin capsules that you take 3 a day, and it improves your memory. Memory Health has been proven to be scientifically helpful for early stages of Alzheimer's. In fact, it has been claimed that it can even forestall Alzheimer's. Dr. Joel Kahn made this statement: in my more than 30 years of practicing medicine, no other product has ever come close to truly supporting brain health like memory health. It's a safe, natural supplement. If you need any more information, call 888-489-8980, 888-489-8980. And I just want to give you a few announcements. And one is tonight, if you are interested in meeting in person, welcome to have you join me over in Troy, Michigan. We're going to be at the Grand Tavern Troy Restaurant, which is at 1317 Coolidge Highway, Troy, Michigan. As you know, I'm founder of the Entrepreneurs Network, and if you are looking for extra income, we'll be discussing, no matter how old you are, it's never too late to figure out the way of earning some extra money. And the best advice I can give you is that, as the saying goes, that if it's to be, it's up to me, as I try to promote that a lot of seniors are frustrated with all of the taxes that are coming up with inflation. Well, you can either complain about it or do something about it. And one of the things you might want to consider is developing a second way of getting income. You don't have to leave whatever you have, and if you don't have any sort of a home-based business opportunity, believe it or not, because of my involvement with different sponsors, you can start your own home-based business for as little as $39.95 a month. Now, you probably can spend that in just one visit to the gas station. But the point is that tonight, if you're interested, it's free to attend. Just pay for whatever you order if you want to eat. It's not necessary. It's at the Grand Tavern Troy, 1317 Coolidge Highway. Please call me at my toll-free number, 888-489-8980, if you want to attend. Or to stay in touch, we can put you on our contact list as we have these meetings. You know, with the COVID virus, so many people have suddenly taken a second look at their current situation. And some people who worked at certain career paths decided that, hey, maybe I should consider something else. Well, that's what our group is all about. Tonight, Dr. Kevin Pappert, who is part of the Schmooze International Group, and also our Entrepreneurs Network group, have joined forces so that we can reach out to as many people that are looking to be self-sufficient. The truth of it is that when you are looking to be successful, you have to surround yourself with successful people. And there's a great group that we've been meeting now for over close to 50 years. We had to shut down a bit during the virus, but right now we're meeting in person, and let me know if you're interested in teaming up with us. Just call 888-489-8980. I've got other stuff I'd like to talk to you about, but not today because we've run out of time on this segment. And I never want to leave this segment without my favorite thought, which is, yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. Today is a gift. And that's why we call it the present. Please enjoy your present by looking and living life with the bright side of aging. Welcome to the Entrepreneurs Network radio show. Our mission is to interview successful entrepreneurs who are willing to share with us their ideas and experiences, both the successes and the failures. Because as it has been jokingly said, you should learn from the mistakes of others because you'll never live long enough to make them all yourself. My name is Ike Engelbaum, and I'm the founder of the Entrepreneurs Network of Michigan, which is a group of motivated people that are all interested in helping each other and achieving our personal and professional goals. Please check out our website, EntrepreneursNetworkofMichigan.com, for meeting schedule as well as self-improvement material. Our philosophy is that if it's to be, it's up to me. Family run for over 88 years, Frentz Hardware has remained family owned and operated. Frentz Hardware is one of a kind. You'll find the newest products offered on TV at very competitive prices. You'll also find safety products, grab bars for bathrooms, battery-operated light switches, remote control devices that you can turn your lamps on or any electrical device. You don't have to run out there anymore. Just press the button. Better yet, just visit Frentz Hardware, located on Main Street and 11.5 Mile Road. They're open every day. If you wish to call, it's 248-544-8111. That's 248-544-8111. Better yet, just visit 11.5 Mile Road and Main Street, Frentz Hardware.
If your question is, who am I going to call to bring the kind of services into my home that I need because I can't get out? House Calls on Wheels provides both medical and non-medical services in your home. They can bring in doctors, dentists, nurses, therapists, and more. And those medical services are covered by Medicare and most private insurance plans. And they have all sorts of non-medical services, whatever you need. Now, if you use 4 hours or more of non-medical services per month, you're going to get a free personal emergency button telephone that you can use for both emergencies or daily use. Call House Calls on Wheels toll-free for further information. 1-888-489-8980. That's 1-888-489-8980.
And welcome, fellow entrepreneurs, or I'm not sure if you're allowed to use fellow anymore, but whoever is listening and is looking to become self-sufficient or is looking for ways for how you can increase that magic word called money. Isn't it interesting? Magic and money and mom all start with the letter M, and they're all very necessary. The reason I do the show is so that I can reach out to people who indeed want to take advantage of this wonderful country called America. Unfortunately, we've got a bunch of politicians out there. Some of them are much better than others in terms of actually getting the message out of what and programs that they were voted in for. And we should stop bad-mouthing our country because it is the greatest country on the face of the planet today. And I'm a firm believer that what has made our country great is the spirit of entrepreneurship. And the wonderful thing that we have in America is that we've got people that not only have benefited themselves, but also benefited all of society. And the truth of it is, one of the most important things that our government indeed can do is to keep us as safe as possible and also make sure that everyone in this country has the benefit of our wonderful, wonderful situation. And the sad part is that we many times get so busy bickering with one another that we forget the full purpose of what entrepreneurship is intended to do. It's intended so that you can be as rich as you can afford to be in terms of putting effort in, but above all, we owe so much to our armed forces. And one of the benefits that I have in dealing with the Entrepreneurs Network of Michigan is to meet dynamic people who themselves are entrepreneurs. I'm really excited about having one of the best entrepreneur advocates in our group, Darron Powers, who actually served our country in the Air Force. And Darron Powers is an author. He's also a personal coach as well as a business coach. And I've had him speak to our Rotary Club and Optimist Club. And every time he's spoken, they've always wanted him to have come back. And that's the ultimate sign of being a true entrepreneur. And I'm really pleased that Darron was available to get on the air with me today. And rather than my espousing everything about Darron, why don't I have you, Darron, talk about yourself? Hello, Darron.
Hey, Ike. Thank you so much for having me once again on your program. I really appreciate that.
All right. Well, you've had really great experience not only in helping protect our country, but also in motivating people. Give us, as we always like to talk at the Entrepreneurs Network, your 60-second elevator pitch. Go for it.
Well, all right. So today I would call myself I've been a business coach for years. I was a former Dale Carnegie instructor, and I was very successful in that. And I worked with Fortune 500 companies, and I have done a lot of business coaching. But in the last number of years, I've been doing a lot of personal coaching, and it's turned into something I call transformational coaching. And as a transformational coach, I basically help growth-minded people between the ages of, let's say, about mid-25s to 75 and above, who are struggling with maybe frustration, stress, anxiety, and it might lead to some areas of self-doubt, maybe the lack of confidence. Sometimes it hurts focus, gets people down. And through this transformational coaching, I'm able to identify and neutralize obstacles that are standing in the way of a better life using today's proven healing techniques, as well as a lot of business techniques I've used over the years, and then set out a path to embrace more joy, fulfillment, accomplishment, and work together with individuals to create a future that they love. How's that?
That sounds great. I just wanted to find out more in terms of, let's say someone says, hey, this guy sounds interesting, and they want to get a hold of you. Well, first of all, what's the best contact phone number? I assume you take phone calls, and you probably also probably prefer email. So why don't you give us both your email and phone number?
Absolutely. First of all, the phone number, and I also accept text too. Text work very well on my phone. 248-470-8379. That's 248-470-8379. And if people want to email me, it's pretty easy. Info at the title of my book, Future Vision, with the word power. So it's info at futurevisionpower.com.
What a great tie-in. I wish I had thought of that. I should have discussed it with my parents to give me a name that would tie in with entrepreneurship. but you're lucky. Your last name is Powers, Darron Powers, and his book is titled Future Vision Power. Why don't you spend a few minutes in describing your book as to what people can expect?
Well, the book started previous to, with COVID. When COVID happened, I realized that the coaching I had been doing with people was working so well that I should put this into print. So I began writing during COVID and ended up publishing a book and then an action planning guide called Future Vision, 6 Steps to Harness Your Power and Achieve Goals in the New Normal. And it's available on Amazon. If you look up the name Future Vision and add the name Darron Powers, it will magically show up in your webpage. But yeah, what happens is I work with people who, we all start out in life with potential. We all have great ambition. We want to do good things with our life, whether it's, to do the best in our job or to start our own business as an entrepreneur. We want to be successful, but things happen, as we move forward in life, setbacks happen, stuff happens. We lose a job, we get divorced, we get sick, we have financial problems, we have self-doubt. It knocks our confidence. And then sometimes, we grow up inheriting family patterns and wounds and troubles, and maybe from our siblings or friends or bullies or subpar teachers or employers that mistreat us. And then we decide we want to go out and start a business, right? Well, there's no real blame because we all do the best that we can. But we do live in, at times, a very toxic environment. We have wars. 9/11, the Twin Towers, the 2008 Wall Street crash, COVID-19, the pandemic. And these things can create wounds and lasting damage and shape our perceptions of the world, and it affects our success. If we're starting a business, we want to start with as many resources as we can. But this happens to all walks of life, from rich to poor. I mean, even presidents, CEOs of large organizations, have these wounds. And it can affect their behavior and affect the people around them. It can lead to, abandoning our ambitions and unexplained self-sabotage of our goals, addictions, denial, even depression. And it's unfortunate, but until we become aware of these patterns or these unconscious pains and wounds and behaviors, they run us kind of like a puppet on a string. We don't need to keep suffering, and we don't need to keep failing if we're starting a business. So, these self-limiting beliefs make us feel that maybe we're not capable, that we don't deserve validation or love or success, or like we're unworthy or not enough, and that we can't start a business or move ahead in our lives or, get married or have relationships. And it becomes an endless hole that we can never really fill, no matter how much stuff we accumulate, no matter how much food we eat, no matter how much sex we have, no matter how much alcohol we drink, how many drugs we take. That hole can't be filled until we become aware that there are things unconsciously that are in the way. And I know some people say, well, Darron, that's just the way I am. Well, it may be the way you are, but wounds can be addressed. Perceptions can change. The mind today, unfortunately, is neuroplastic. It can change. It can grow. It can mold if you get in the right environment. You get around the right people. You talked about your group tonight, that's a group of people that are positive. They're moving forward. But individually, you still may need coaching or attention. The change is possible, but that's not always easy. And that's where I come in with transformational coaching. And in a nutshell, it's not necessarily so much about what you do in life, but it's what you're becoming. It's how you're shaping and molding your perceptions.
Now, if someone is interested in finding out if there's a match of what you feel you can do for them and what they need, how does the process work? They call you, obviously, and on that initial consultation, can you give us a little sort of tip as to what they can expect?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first of all, a lot of people get a hold of me via referrals. I get a lot of referrals they see my name on Facebook, either in LinkedIn, Darron Powers, or on Facebook. And in fact, I got a call last week from somebody who just started with me. Very successful guy, six-figure guy type of guy, married, a couple of kids, but having some pressures with the family life and the way the business is being run. He's an entrepreneur, very successful entrepreneur, but a lot of stress and a lot of anxiety. And once, I talked with him on the phone. We talked for a good half hour about his situation, and then decided, hey, does this make sense to meet or not? And we did meet last week, and it was very interesting because, he has hired psychologists, he's hired psychiatrists, he's worked with many therapists over the years, and he told me in the first session, he got more in that first session than he did in all the time and all the money he spent working over the years with others. And that's not because I'm so great. It's because I have a business background, and I'm used to asking and interviewing and asking questions that go beyond the surface. And I'm working with the latest in technology in terms of neuroscience, emotional freedom technique as an example. And I study every day. I study trauma. I study addiction. I study how the mind works and the most advanced methods. I'm, NLP, neuro-linguistic practitioner. So I've studied over the years, and I'm not a young guy, so I've had a lot of time to study and practice.
You're a seasoned guy,
I'm a seasoned veteran, indeed. That's one of the nice things about getting older is you get more wisdom and more experience, and hopefully you get better.
I'll tell you, you're talking to an 84-year-old guy, and so I really appreciate what you said, and one of my Ikeisms, as I like to call them, is that aging is inevitable, wisdom is optional, and there are a lot of people who, as they age, really don't benefit from the experience that you have in life, and you really learn from your setbacks and all. And someone like you, who's been both in civilian and military type life, can really relate to a lot of people that have had similar type backgrounds. And the sad part is that, unfortunately, when you run into veterans, and I'm blessed that I know quite a few of them besides you, Darron, and the standing line is, thank you for your service. The truth is that, that's sort of an amsy-pamsy type of response. You really are grateful that they have put their life on the line to protect our country. And unfortunately, when you're in that traumatic type situation, there are a lot of unfortunate effects that develop that we refer to as post-traumatic syndrome. So do you feel veterans can really benefit from your coaching style?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, Ike, because one of the coaching techniques that I use is called the emotional freedom technique. And that particular technique, combined with the other modalities and strategies that I use, it has been used to help thousands and thousands of veterans when regular talk therapy didn't work, when the drugs didn't work. This particular process does work. And when I couch it or when I place it in an environment with the other tools that I use, the combination of tools, I get pretty good results. And yes, indeed, I don't think we can help all veterans. Some trauma, and not everybody wants, to get better. You've got to really want to get better. My brother got out of the Army, and his life wasn't working, and he is one of those statistics. Every day, 22 veterans kill themselves, suicide. My brother was one of them. You didn't feel like there was a way out. The people I work with, you have to feel that maybe there is a way out, but you haven't found the right strategy for you. That's really important.
Well, you know, if anyone is involved in an organization like the Rotary, the Optimist Club, or the Kiwanis, or any organization, or just, you know, some of the community centers that are looking for someone who has benefited from his experience and has become wiser and not just older. By all means, Darron, I really enjoy your speaking style, and your voice is made for radio, and I'm afraid to get you on the air because they'll replace me. But but that's a trauma that I'm gonna have to deal with. So before we part company for today, why don't you repeat your contact information? Go ahead.
Well, that is 248. This is the phone, 248-470-8379. And Ike, I should mention, I am working with corporations now. I'm helping a company to turn around. It was losing, and I've been coaching their salespeople. And I've been a sales coach in the past, a sales trainer for the Dale Carnegie courses, and I've developed sales training for many companies. But I tell you, what I'm doing now is going beyond sales training and getting at the things that really stop salespeople from being more productive, the things that get in the way that are internal that sales training can't get at. So I wanted to mention that. My email is info at futurevisionpower.com, or just go to the internet, look up Darron Powers, and you'll find me. DarronPowers.
Right, and Darron Powers is going to make you more powerful. Is that correct?
Well, I don't know about that, but I got to want powerful.
Well, I'll take a licensing on that, okay? And great talking to you right now. We got to take a brief break, and I'll be back with some thoughts before we part company for the day. So don't go away. Hi, Ike Engelbaum. One of my sponsors is Cofix Nasal Spray. You can spray the inside of your nose and almost have the same benefits as a mask. In fact, it's been so well proven that it's now on the market in drugstores. Cofix RX. Spray it in the nose. 45 seconds later, you have up to 8 hours like a shield inside your nose. It's been scientifically proven. I'm really excited about it. I use it anytime I go out in a huge crowd. If you need any more information, call 888-489-8980. 888-489-8980. For over 30 years, Cruise Hearing and Service has helped thousands of people improve their hearing and enjoy the sounds of their life again. If you don't hear as well as you like, Cruise Hearing can help you. They have actually hearing aids that the batteries do not need to be recharged. And they also have a caption phone that you can view for free. And also the phone, if you are over 65, is available to you free. So any phone calls you get, you can see captioned if you don't hear that well. Hey, they've got other stuff. If you'd like the free cookbook, call 1-888-489-8980. That's available. You can call Cruise Hearing Direct at 877-456-2789. The number direct is 877-456-2789. And I just want to remind you, if you are enjoying our program, by all means, tell your friends. And if you don't, tell your enemies. But in the interim, I depend on sponsors. The program is, in fact, the station is regarded as you pay to play. In other words, I pay to be on the air and depend on sponsors to keep me on the air. So if you're interested in any of the products, by all means, I will add an incentive, a sweet incentive. How's that? NutriFoods is located in downtown Royal Oak, right around 11 Mile in Royal Oak, and they stock the Cofix RX nasal spray, which I use myself when I go into a big crowd, just to be super safe. I still like to know that I've got that layer of protection against the virus. True, it's not as prevalent as it was before, but sometimes if you want that mental satisfaction, so to speak, or relaxation, NutriFoods is right downtown in Royal Oak. Tri-Unity Pharmacy, located at 12 Mile and Telegraph. And Dr. Mike George, who has a dynamic medical clinic right on Coolidge and north of 14. They stock the Cofix RX as well as the Memory Health. I bring that to your attention because, quite frankly, I'm very selective as to who I ask to be a sponsor. These are products that I'm proud of. And if you do make a purchase there, call our toll-free number, and I'll arrange to send you a free gift card to Ori Bakery. Yes, free $10 gift card to Ori Bakery, which is on Farmington Road, just north of 96 Highway. Just call 888-489-8980 if you're interested in any of the products, or House Calls on Wheels. If you have a friend or you yourself is in need of in-home medical or non-medical care, give us a call. I will be glad to give you a free consultation. I'm a pharmacist and have had to deal with a lot of different issues as we age. The truth of it is that as you age, you're going to develop symptoms like pains from parts of your body you didn't even know exist. But if it's more serious and you actually need in-home care, what I'm proud of is I have surrounded myself with top-notch healthcare providers that make in-home visits. For example, if you can't get out of the house and you need physical therapy right in your own home, if the doctor approves of it, Medicare will pay for it. Likewise, if you need any medical care, private insurance in most cases, and Medicare will pay for important things if it becomes even more serious, like IVs and what have you. In fact, as they say, one call does it all for your medical and non-medical care, and non-medical care starts as low as $20 an hour. Wow. Anyway, I'd love to talk to you some more today, but I've run out of time, and I don't want to leave the Entrepreneurs Network of Michigan show without my favorite motivational thought. If you really want to get anything done in life, you'll find a way. And if you don't, you'll find an excuse. And there is no excuse for not achieving your dreams and goals in America, because it is the greatest country in the whole world. Remember, a goal is just a dream with a deadline.
WNZK has available a few good hours of airtime for a few good programs to serve their communities. Radio is better than ever in targeting an audience that listens to what you say. Learn more about this exciting radio broadcasting opportunity by calling WNZK Radio at 248-557-3500. This is WNZK, Dearborn Heights, Detroit, your ethnic superstation at 690 days, 680 nights.